Okay, good to go, Ruturaj.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, Emma community. I, Ruturaj Trivedi, the Vice President of Emma, welcome you all on behalf of the Electoral Committee to the 2025 elections, presidential and vice presidential debate. First, a big thank to the Electoral Committee for their hard work in organizing this event and ensuring a fair and transparent process. We are honored today four candidates for the positions of President and Vice President. Thank you, candidates, for stepping up to serve and for taking the time to be here today with us. This debate is an opportunity for us to hear directly from the individuals who may be leading us in the coming years, to learn about their vision, their values, and how they plan to represent our community. We will start with a quick roundtable, followed by two sessions, one each for President and Vice President debates. The session will start with candidates' introduction, followed by three rounds. Round 1, candidate vision and plan, round 2, cross debate, and round 3, question and answer session. By the end of the two sessions, we will also have a joint session for candidates, the two presidential and the two vice presidential candidates, where they can ask one question each, one question to any of the candidates present in the session. Our debate will last around 90 minutes. Now I request our Emma President Rahman to introduce himself in one line and remind us of the housekeeping rules, followed by the introduction of the Electoral Committee members who are present today and the Electoral Committee members who are working in the background and the candidates who are present with us today. So over to you, Ashiku.
Thank you so much, Ruturaj. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching from. Dear Emma community, dear candidates, electoral committee members, volunteers, Emma members, and all of our well-wishers who are joining us live on YouTube. My name is Dr. Ashikur Rahman. I am the president of Erasmus Mundus Association, and I will have the honor to be one of the moderators for today's debate sessions. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to share some, let's say, important housekeeping notes. You already know this, but just a reminder, please show respect to all candidates at all times. Please listen carefully and allow everyone to speak without interruption. Please let's maintain a spirit of professionalism and collegiality. This is the celebration of Emma's democratic spirit. The session will be recorded through YouTube, and it will be shared for wider community transparency. Also, time limits will be strictly followed to ensure fairness for all candidates. The audience who are watching us online, let's say in YouTube, in Facebook, and also in the community portal, they may send their questions via these channels. And several of our volunteers, they are observing these questions. And they will also transfer the questions to us. Also, finally, please kindly keep all your microphones muted unless called to speak. Thank you so much. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. For information, we have 6 persons responsible as a part of the electoral committee. You know all of them, and also several other volunteers who are working to make this debate successful. Thanks to all of them. Thank you. Ruturaj, back to you.
Thank you very much, Ashikur, for your introduction and for the housekeeping rules. Now I request our, we have our electoral committee core member, Shinam Jain here. So if you can introduce yourself in one line, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here today. I am Shinam Jain, and I was the former director of Project Support Unit, and I have been volunteering with Emma since 2017 in different capacities. Today, I will be one of the facilitators, and I am very eager to see how this debate goes. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Ruturaj.
Thank you very much. Now I request one of our candidates, Inapiva, to introduce herself online, followed by Shaheen, Raquel, and Marvi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Inapiva, and as you know, I'm the candidate for the presidency of Emma. And my candidacy is anchored in 3 goals: transparency, horizontal engagement. Thank you all for spending your Sunday morning/afternoon wherever you are with us.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon from sunny Brussels. Thank you so much for having me here. I am Shaheen SET. I am here as the vice presidency candidate for EMA for the 2025 and 2027. We'll talk about it more soon. Let's listen from Raquel now.
Thank you, Shaheen. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in this debate. I'm Raquel Galeano. I'm coming from an early morning Sunday day in Asunción, Paraguay. And yeah, like Shaheen said, we'll talk a little bit more later. Marvi.
Thank you, Raquel, and thank you, everyone. Hello, Emma community. I'm Marvi Kazi, and I'm also one of the candidates for the presidency. We will be talking more about what the mandate is and what more further. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. So let's start our debate without wasting much time, as we are perfectly on time with the first round. And before the first round, we have a candidate introduction. So we'll start our first session, which is presidential debate with candidate introduction, where each candidate will have 3 minutes per candidate to introduce themselves with or without slides. So I request that we start with introduction from Raquel, followed by Shaheen. So please follow the time limit of 3 minutes per candidate. And if any case you are over time, we are here to help you out.
Thank you very much, Roturaj. And like I said, welcome everybody. I'm Raquel Galeano. Good morning from Paraguay to the whole Emma community and to everyone outside of the Emma community who might be listening or watching in. I'm an adult educator with more than 20 years of experience teaching English and Spanish. And I also trained and mentor teachers and students. I started my Emma volunteering years 20, and you might remember that that year was very particular. So I started as a program representative program in adult education for social change. Then a year later, I also joined the communications and IT team. And for those of you who might not know, on the current management board, I'm working as the talent management unit director. So in all of these years working and volunteering with Emma, I've noticed that it's a very vibrant and inclusive community that supports each other and creates space for growth. Like I said, I joined in 2020 at a very specific time, just before the pandemic hit. Able to join in quite numerous activities and saw firsthand how Emma can and does impact our lives before we come into our programs, during our programs, and even after, like it's the case for some of us candidates here. I would like to continue to be part of this community and to keep fostering this collegiality, as Ashkur mentioned at the beginning, and also this network of support and growth as vice president for the term of 2025 and 2027. All of the candidates here today, and
I guess we are unable to hear Raquel. Raquel, are you still with us? Raquel, are you still with us?
To the next candidate, and then we can come back when our internet connection is proper.
Yes, so the time for the first candidate is also almost over. It's 3 minutes. So I request Shaheen, please go ahead.
Yes, please, will you please share the slides for me?
Ashikur, please.
Thank you so much for having me here today. And again, good afternoon, everyone from a rare sunny Brussels. I am Shahin S. Iti, architect and smart city specialist from Belgium, and I completed my Erasmus Mundus joint master's degree in smart cities and communities in 2021. And since then, I am volunteering with Emma. So next, let's go for the next chapter as we have Erasmus mission ahead. And next slide, please. Yeah. With great power comes great responsibilities, but great responsibilities don't come with great power. And we have this heavy word cloud looming on us. So let's go find some answers and let's go find some solutions in our next slide. EMA Secretariat in Brussels. And this year, we are celebrating 19 years of EMA, and we are also celebrating 10 years as an international nonprofit. This is the high time we establish a professionals hub, the Secretariat of EMA in Brussels, and strengthen our association with the greater administrative and management capacities. In the next slide. Next slide, please. Thank you. Yes. Living in the literal EU quarter, I see it as a tremendous opportunity to act now to achieve our long-term goals and objectives. We want to stand by the side of Erasmus Mundus students, alumni, and EU in solidarity. We want to create a stronger community than ever before. This is the action plan about how we are going to do this. And we will have more time for that later. Next slide, please. Why me? I am bringing more than 10 years of experience in international nonprofits based in solely in Europe. And being a Belgian citizen and as a freelancer in Brussels, I have the perfect opportunity to participate in discourses and activities in the heart of EU that tremendously benefits EMA. And I'm already doing this for the last few months now, as in the capacity as the Policy and Quality Assurance Unit Director at interim for EMA. And you may find the news on the EMA website. But moreover, I am championing EMA in all the European Commission activities where I am invited for my personal professional affiliations. So I am looking forward more for it than ever before. And let's take advantage of all the greatness of the heart of the EU now. And together, let's write the history of the great future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and Marvi, for your introductions. So let's start with round one. I request Ashikur to be facilitator moderator for this session. Here, each candidate will present their vision. They can use that presentation or they are free not to. And if Ashikur, if you want, you can ask some clarifying questions the candidates at the end. And we have 10 minutes for this session, like this round. And it's 5 minutes each candidate. So I request Ashikur to start the round.
Thank you so much, Ruturaj. And thanks to Shaheen and Raquel for their quick introduction in 3 minutes. And sorry for Raquel, like for last 30 seconds, you are somehow disconnected. I hope you covered these 30 seconds here. So this is the session where we'll go for, let's say round two, what we call like cross debate. So basically it's your time, you will ask questions to each of you. So I will follow now, I will allow Shaheen to ask a question to Raquel following her, let's say 2 years plan, vision and introduction. And then Raquel, you go for the next. So Shaheen, go ahead with your questions. At least
Okay.
one, and then we'll go for another one.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, Raquel is today, kindly joining us from early morning in Paraguay. So I have this question regarding, because this year I joined the European Commission and that talks about, after the election and everything, the new political situation and what's happening in the DGs. There is a new DG MENA that is based on, that is focusing on, the South Mediterranean and the Americas, specifically the South Americas and the Central Americas and the Africas. So I am wondering what Raquel in her last term, in her this term actually, is actually working on in Paraguay, in Latam, or in this Central America, South America, for strengthening our community there, because now it is actually politically very important, and also it's a very great opportunity for European Union and European Commission to strengthen our international supports.
Hi, Shaheen. Thank you for the question. Can I just clarify? So you're asking what I am doing right now, or what is the plan for the term as vice president? Thank you.
If you have like both, that would be great actually. That's why we want to listen.
Okay, thank you. So currently I returned to Paraguay a year, close to a year ago. And even before that, I have been active with the local community of Erasmus Mundus and Erasmus Plus volunteers. So we work closely with the delegation here in Paraguay. And we have also started through different projects that Emma had, Mindful Mundus being one of them, that it was the volunteers from Latin America, so 2 Colombians and myself, that we started Diana. And through that and through other webinars that people can see, we started collaborating with other volunteers, Emma volunteers, on the ground in different countries in Paraguay, and now we have a vibrant community also in Central America of very active and involved members that, as far as I know, many of them have the support of the that are in contact with the ENFPs, as you were saying. So at the moment, we're working individually with our delegations and with our local embassies and other stakeholders, and trying how we can collaborate and build other networks together, so that, yes, as you were saying, these plans that the Commission has for our region can grow. Because unfortunately, unlike Europe, it's very difficult for us to go from one country to the next, but online, there are lots that we can do and that we are doing indeed in this moment. So to go beyond that, so in the future, so that is the plan, to continue growing the grassroots work that the Emma volunteers are doing, continue, whether it's here in the Americas, whether it's in Africa, in Southeast Asia, and in other areas, and also to the best practices of certain regions or certain countries that are doing tremendous work right now. So the knowledge exchange needs to grow, and that's part of my platform as well. So to further that knowledge exchange between Emma members, because we are all leaders and we are individuals that are very capable, whether we are in the European Union or not, whether we have a EU passport or not, wherever we are the leaders and we are the experts and in our areas and in our context. And that is something that I plan and I think we need to foster. And so create spaces for all of these Emma scholars, to Erasmus Mundus scholars and Emma members and volunteers to represent Emma, to represent and carry the voice of Erasmus Mundus in our local context and abroad. So spaces for participation shouldn't be just for certain people, and we need to diversify the faces and the voices that we have in our website, in the news, and in the activities. So that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashikor, for the reminder.
Thank you. So you would like to go for one question, because our intention is to bring, let's say, the vibes to the debate. That's why before the round one, we just wanted to have one question from each, and then we will go for round one. So you'd like to have a question for Shaheen, Raquel?
Yes, please. So Shaheen, in your plans, you also talked about bringing financial sustainability to Emma. So in
Yes.
a 2-year mandate, what do you think it's possible to do?
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question. Thank you for so much for asking it. Okay, regarding the financial stability, it comes from multifaceted ways. And that like funding and like literal money comes from multifaceted ways to actually strengthen the base of the financial stability. There can be in general, there can be like two streamlines. One is direct operational grant from the European Commission and from European Union, because we are as international non-profit based in Brussels, we are actually uh, we are eligible to receive that. That is one part for the operational grant. And also because EMA was established by European Commission in 2006, there is also some part of, European Commission's child, EMA. So there is also one part from where we can get the operational grants, and we have to work on that. That's what, my short-term actions are all about, to do all this knowledge management, all this communication management consistently in Brussels, and talking with all the agencies, and building rapport with them and engaging them, actually bring this question up again, that now we need all this management structure for our operational grant, because it's a process. Everywhere it's a process, and we have to go through this bureaucratic process. That is for our operational grant. And for the other channels, what we have from outside of this, governmental structure, both from European Union and from apart from this Belgian government, what we have is that we are doing lots of projects. We are doing lots of Erasmus Plus projects, Key Action 1, Key Action 2, and we are hoping for doing Key Action 3 projects as well, which will actually bring more voice for policy making. And I absolutely love those ideas that we are doing this. Whatever we are doing now, we are fueling on completely on volunteering powers.
Summarizing.
Yes,
Can you
please. Yeah. So that's where, my idea is all about. When we can consolidate, we are already bringing some money, but it's not good enough. And it's also a lot for our volunteers. Only volunteering works to do it. So let's, establish an proper strong administration so that we can, structure them and format them more in a better way for the financial sustainability that will coming from our projects. And then comes our donations. We are
Shaheen,
establishing the
sorry, I
donation
have to
channels
interrupt.
as well.
Maybe you
Yes,
can
sorry.
speak
Yeah.
better. Let's say we are going for this vision and plan. So,
Yeah.
so my intention is to bring Raquel's internet back. So I think now everything is stable. So I would like to go to the floor for Shaheen now, because we're actually following sequencing. So Shaheen, go for your candidate's vision and plan. Basically, you have 4 minutes to speak, because we took already 1 minute each from your side. So go ahead if you would like to go for your vision and plan.
In that case, am I going to have my slide as well? Because I have this one slide from the
Okay.
first year and the second year. Yeah.
Yes, let us try to share. You have to tell which one.
Yeah, the one. The one before this one. The one before this one. Later. This one. Yes. First year and the second. Yeah. Because it is. I mean, that's what I was actually talking about. That 2-year terms are actually, short-term actions, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, because EMA is 19 years old. There has been so many people here, all the steering committees, all the other management boards that we have had. Everyone was building little by little EMA where EMA is right now. And right now, what I'm saying about establishing the secretariat and everything is actually taking EMA beyond what point we are now, beyond what point we achieved as EMA. I mean, it's not a joke that EMA is running for almost 20 years without any, administrative, like professional administration. Everything is volunteering. Everyone is volunteer here. And I guess it's actually a Guinness World Record. I don't know. Probably it is. But that's why, my short term, I'm saying it's short term actions that within these 2 years I am committed to do all these short term actions so that we can have these long term achievements and the benefits of a truly properly established international nonprofit, and support our students, alumni, and our members. And here I am talking about in the first year doing the very most important, because it's all volunteering, to get going for the knowledge management, the communication management. And community development through engaging everyone, bringing them all back. For 20 years, we have so many members, and like while we were jumping from one community portal to another, we lost so many members. We want to bring them back all, and we want to strengthen the network and the collaboration with the EUD, EC, and EU agencies. That now I am very fortunately having the exposure to do that, and we want to create and we want to actually consolidate the digital office hub that we have now, because we have our members and our volunteers are all around the world, and our digital office is our powerhouse of our work, and we want to strengthen that in my first year. And of course, we are very mindful about the volunteers' rights, and we want to empower them. We want to consolidate their rights and celebrate their achievements as well. And throughout our strategic partnership and all these financial sustainability plans and policy development that can influence and engage the key actors of the field, and impact driven our network portal, the community portal that we have now, actually make it better within the first year, so that in the second year we can establish it as a more prominent portal, and strengthening the advocacy for the future of the Erasmus, because we know that in 2027 this Erasmus Plus call is ending, and we are already talking in Brussels. Let me tell you that we are everyone, every agencies, institutions, and the bodies that actually talk with higher education, we are always talking about the future of Erasmus. I'm day after tomorrow, I'm actually joining an event where we're going to be talking about this future of the Erasmus. And thankfully, I am right now having all this exposure to actually take take part of all these important
Thank you very
discussions.
much,
Yeah.
Shaheen, and sorry to interrupt you, but you are a bit over time. I'm
Sorry,
really
I
sorry to
just-
interrupt you,
No, no, thanks.
and I would request Raquel to present her mission vision for the next 2 years.
Thank you, Ruturaj, and thank you, Shaheen, as well, for their interesting ideas. I don't have a presentation, so I hope you can put up with me talking to you right now directly without the slides. But please feel free, everyone, to go to our Emma website, where we have the pitch, where you can see the videos and you can see more of my ideas there in written form. But as I was saying, I have been volunteering with it since 2020, and in my different roles, in the 3 different spaces that I collaborated in, and talking to volunteers, talking to members throughout this almost 5 years now of volunteering, I have seen the need, like I said earlier, for the support, continuous support on the academic and professional level that we are doing, and that it's fantastic and that needs to continue, but also support on a personal level as well. So, like I said, currently Emma does amazing work in terms of academic and professional growth. We are invited to, so as Emma members and volunteer, we are invited to participate in projects, to develop projects for our Emma community and for communities outside of the Erasmus Mundus sphere. And these are great opportunities, professionally, build networks, etc. Academically as well, there are webinars that our Research and Innovation Unit has carried out. We have the poster competition that help also people focus and learn all these key skills. And also, as volunteers, we professional academically as well. Volunteering in Emma has helped me tremendously. But since beginning in my involvement with Emma, because I have a background in psychology as well, I've noticed and I felt the need for support in terms of mental health and overall well-being, because we are international students, but we are international students in a mobility program. That's a completely different party that we joined. That's all accessing help and support outside of our programs, and when we're continuously moving, it proves difficult and it can affect the development we have throughout. Yeah. So what do I plan to do in these 2 years in terms of this? So encourage further efforts, because there have been efforts in the last couple of years, some that I've been involved in, some that other people have created, to further create and establish safe spaces where Emma members and volunteers can find support to create projects for mental health and well-being, as well as participate in them. And I also believe, moving on from this, I also believe that it's important to increase the number of Emma volunteers taking on leadership roles within Emma and outside of Emma. Like we've heard Shaheen's opportunities that because he lives in Brussels and he's involved with Emma. So I think just coming on to the end of my speech, I just wanted to say that I believe that everyone deserves these opportunities as well. And I would like to dedicate my mandate to foster this growth and to foster these spaces, to promote and also to promote a healthy team culture within the volunteer organization, where members feel seen, valued, heard, and their ideas and suggestions are appreciated. So thank you very much, and I look forward to continue this debate and this conversation in all ways. Thank you, Ruturaj.
Thank you very much, Raquel, Shaheen, and Ashikur. Thank you very much, Ashikur, for moderating the round 1 and 2. And I now request Dr. Shinam Jain to moderate the round 3, which is question and answer session from audience. So Shinam as facilitator can present some questions which were pre-submitted, and we can also take some questions from the live YouTube streaming. Shinam, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you, Ruturaj. We now move into the next segment, which is the Q&A with our candidates. So in this round, I will ask 2 pre-submitted questions to each of our candidates. You will have up to 2 minutes to answer each question. I have a timer running and you will hear a buzzer sound when you have 15 seconds left. So please try to keep your answers as precise as possible so that our audiences can actually follow you well. Now I will start with the questions, and my first question is for Raquel. So the question is, which frameworks will you introduce to monitor and assess sound and compliant financial management practices, including budgeting and fundraising, to safeguard Emma's resources? So Raquel, you have 2 minutes to answer this question.
Thank you very much, Shinam, for the question. Yes, and it's also, so just to have a little, to do an introduction for this question. For people that are not aware of, the Vice President, it's responsible several units. So the Vice President split the overseeing of several units, and the administrative units where the financial unit it's one of these frameworks. Yeah, it's one of these units. So in terms of developing, so we have developed in this current management board, we are working on making it transparent, making all of this, working on the transparency of our financial endeavors. Yeah. So I personally will continue. Oh, sorry, apologies.
Raquel,
I share the space with pets. Apologies. So as I was saying, so we're working on building this transparent spaces and frameworks, and I will continue supporting this. How? Through making sure that every budget that we are spent is clear and it's accessible. So we have taking GDPR in consideration, keeping as much as we can available for our volunteers if people have questions and have request access to certain information, to have that available, whether it's for projects, so for anything that Emma is spending, yeah? So that the reviews are continuous. So if volunteers want access outside of the GA, because it's in General Assembly where we usually present our annual reports,
sorry, Raquel.
that
You need
people
to
can have,
wrap up.
sorry.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
you need
yeah,
to
thank
wrap
you.
up.
So,
Yeah.
okay, thank you very much. So, like I said, making transparent, making the information available so that people, if have questions or they have interest, they can have a look at what we're doing and how we're doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Raquel. So now I have the second question for you, which is, in what ways will you closely interact and co-lead with the president to align the management board's focus lines and projects with Emma's strategic aim?
Well, I think following the work that we have been doing, so, and we, I mean, not only board, but also that we have been doing with previous directors in units that I have volunteered. I volunteer in the SNA unit, I volunteer in the CIT unit, and we have monthly meetings. We have spaces where we discuss formally what's happening and informally what's happening as well. So I will make sure that we have this continuous communication, whether it's a quick check-in session bi-week, monthly, depending on the need, or staying in touch via emails or via other channels as well. Because I believe that we need to consider that we're all volunteers, that we all have professional and personal lives, and we also have Emma. And we need to make sure that we are in the work of the presidential team and also in the work of the volunteers, that we are not overstepping these boundaries, that we are not making Emma and the work beyond the volunteering hours that we should work. So I believe that keeping a quick conversation once a month or every 2 weeks and keeping to other communication channels are good ways to make sure to monitor ourselves as well, that we are not being that we are not overworking ourselves and that we're not overworking the volunteers. Thank you.
That's great, Raquel. You took less time. So because of that, I have actually a bonus question for you from our audience
Yeah,
who are
please.
actually
Thank
live.
you.
So the question for you is
Thank you.
that how would you make the inactive volunteers active again? So you have 30 seconds to answer this question. The floor is yours.
Inactive. So what I would do is, connect with all the active volunteers. We all know 1 or 2 inactive volunteers. So inviting them in, so bringing them in. Perhaps they have ideas that were not considered. Perhaps they wanted opportunities to represent Anima and they were not giving those opportunities. So it's giving back that space to them and the possibilities to create and to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Raquel. Again, I'm very grateful for you to following the time. And now I will move on to Shaheen. So Shaheen, the first question for you is, how will you contribute to building Emma's volunteer capacity, ensuring support, training, and motivation while fostering an inclusive organizational culture? So you have 2 minutes to answer this question.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this question. This is actually very important to actually keep our volunteers motivated because we all work, all over the world and yeah, it's only online. We have several, support systems for our volunteers, each and every unit. They also have that Raquel was mentioning that our monthly meetings and engaging them, and also, internal trainings as well, internal workshops as well that we are doing throughout, OCB, SNA, PDU, and Raquel's TMU as well. And I did one as well. though it was not from my PKO unit, but that's what we are planning to do for right now to engage our volunteers. But at the same time, what we want to do is like, uh, segregate our volunteers with all the administrative works that they need to do for EMA so that they can actually have a better fulfillment and better motivation and better chance to do what they want to do in EMA, because it is all volunteering, it is all proactive volunteering, and no one is here anyone's boss. We are here also volunteers in the whole management board, and we are just having more responsibilities, but we also have lots of restrictions as well. So in my opinion, segregating the administrative burden from the volunteers to give them more fulfilling experiences, uh, doing all these projects and doing the trainings and doing for those mentoring programs and having all these workshops and skill development for the union of skills and everything, doing that, that will actually give our volunteers more opportunities and
Thank you, Shaheen. So now I will move on to the second question for you, which is given Emma's role in promoting higher education and representing Erasmus Mundus stakeholders, how will you enhance external communication to increase Emma's visibility among academic, governmental, and corporate partners?
Yes, that's what we're already actually doing it. Recently, we just have this in January, we have our ASA meeting, but at the same time, we also went to this, NEOs, ANFPs, along with the EUDs, that is actually strengthening our outreach activities and to promote it and connect with all the institutions on that part. That is one part we are doing, and outside of the EU. Inside of the EU, I am what we are doing right now, because this one was also, I didn't know about it before. I was actually in the management board that we can do all these things. Now we are connecting with all the higher education, institutions and the organizations that are actually actively working here in based in Brussels. I mean, Brussels is actually full of all these representatives from each of these countries. So, for example, higher education, Norway, they have a base here, a directorial base here. Sweden, they have base here. And in the last 6 months, I actually visited many of them in their offices, and we started talking, building the rapport again, because they were telling me that until 2012 they were having a good partnership and relationship with EMA, and then the somehow the connectivity faded away, and now I had the opportunity to actually work with them, talk with them, starting the knowledge management and starting the communication. It's a ongoing process and it's working. We also did, there are EMDMs, Erasmus Mundus Design Major, for the new European universities that they want to actually create, establish Erasmus Mundus programs. We are supporting them through PKO unit, actually policy and quality assurance. We do this. That last year we actually supported this one program. They actually received funding, and I'm right now in the quality management board in that program. We are continuously working to do all the curriculums and how the programs will be running, and it is I am doing beyond being the PQA unit director, because it is actually a different commitment, but I'm doing it also voluntarily. And also we are also doing some mentoring for the other institutions
Shaheen,
that
your
are coming, said
time
we want
is
to do this.
almost
Yes.
over.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
please wrap up,
There are
please?
so many things that's happening. I'm sorry. I'm getting carried away.
That's okay, but thank you, Raquel, and thank you, Shaheen, for your thoughtful and well-articulated answers. I think your insights today have really helped us and our audiences with a clearer understanding of your vision and leadership approach. Now I'll give the floor back to Ruturaj. So, Ruturaj, over to you.
Thank you very much, Shaheen and Raquel. Thank you very much, Shinam, for the session. So we are 3 minutes over time, and we'll try to finish on time today. So we'll start the second session. Thank you very much for the first session, Raquel and Shaheen. The second session will be similar what we had to the first session. So we'll have a candidate introduction, 6 minutes, 3 minutes per candidate with or without presentation, followed by round 1, which is candidate vision and plan for 10 minutes, and then round 2, cross debate for 10 minutes. This will be followed by a joint session of cross questions for 13 minutes. So to start with the first part of the second session, which is the presidential debate, I request Marvi to start with her 3-minute introduction.
Thank you, Ruturaj. Would you be able to share my slides? Okay, the next one, please. Hello, Emma community again, my fellow candidates for president and vice president position and the esteemed moderators. Today, I'm appearing before you not only with passion, but with a vision for the future of Emma that is stronger, more inclusive, and better connected to the world of policy, governance, and global opportunities. I'm Marvi Kazi, and I'm a legal and business professional with extensive experience in law, governance, and international policy. Currently, I'm serving as the management board member of Emma, where I lead the project support unit, driving collaboration, innovation, and student empowerment. I have done MBA in finance and double LLM from leading EU institutions. I am an Erasmus Plus and DAD and MIPLC alumni scholar. My roots are from Pakistan, but I live in Jerusalem. And I consider myself as a global citizen. I'm hearing my voice. It's echoing. Is it? Okay. Next, please. Yeah. So I'm a professional with more than 12 years of experience working as lawyer, a central banker, IP and policy researcher, and later I served as a judge in the courts in Pakistan, where I adjudicated cases on gender justice, juvenile rights, intellectual property, contract, and consumer protection laws. My aim or my goal has always been to uphold the rule of law without any fear and favor. Currently, I'm working as freelance legal and business advisor, and IP, contract law, compliance, and data privacy are my forte. In Emma, I lead multi-stakeholder projects. During the last round of calls under my leadership, Emma received 6 Erasmus Plus projects, which we are currently implementing. During the February and March call of 2025, PSU has applied for more than 10 different Erasmus Plus projects, including one Erasmus Mundus design measurement program. And some of these projects has been written by me. So we have expanded Emma's project portfolio and funding sources. With me and my team, there are 15 volunteers currently working with me, and they are coming from all around the world. I have led SI activities, first and second round of calls for Emma. And due to our collective efforts, we received more than 20 expression of interest for SI activities for the January call, out of which 7 have been received grant, which is the highest number of applications that have received grants from compared to any other sister and cousin organizations. Besides that, I'm also involved, or I'm also working in joint collaboration on writing joint SI activities along with our other sister and cousin organizations for the benefit of entire community, not only Emma, but all the other sister and cousin networks. Besides that, I have been in close contact with members from European Commission, IKEA, NEO-ICP, and ENFP. Next, please.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Marv. Your time is up, but you can continue with the presentation in the first round, which will be in 3 minutes. And I now request our second candidate, Ina, to please start your presentation for 3 minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President. Thank you so much, Electoral Committee. Thank you so much, fellow vice presidential and presidential candidates. And thank you so much, members and fans, that you're spending your Sunday on YouTube or on YouTube live here with us to hear from us. As you know, I'm Anna, and today I'm not simply presenting my candidacy. I'm inviting you on a journey of trust, transparency, and a renewed spirit of engagement. 12 years ago, I left my home country with little more than hope and conviction. I would like to ask you to take a moment and think why you applied for Erasmus Mundus. What drove your gut? What was the difference that you wanted to make when you applied? I, as you all here today have done, have built my path across Europe for a reason in Europe. I have created 2 impactful social enterprises in 2 different European countries that currently employ more than 15 people across Europe, have empowered young people and alumni in different contexts to find their place, their voice, and their future. I'm proud to say that I have also developed and led projects that connected hundreds of young people across Europe and beyond, from youth leadership academies to social inclusion programs to alumni empowerment platforms. These experiences taught me one thing, and these are concrete experiences that you can find just by Googling my name. Real impact happens when we nurture opportunities and grow together, not when people do their action for their individual and personal benefits. When you put the person before the interest of the organization, and you always have the same people going to the same events and don't have transparency, this will never happen. The organization will never have a real impact if it's a personal organization. I have never been part of the MS management board for a reason. I got rejected and never got answers to that. But I believe that leadership is not about a title. It's about showing up, building trust, and offering a vision that serves everyone, being transparent. We hear here today so many projects. Where are these projects? Why the members don't know about them? Who does them? Who implements them? Who does the management? How does it work? We don't know anything. To find the project named Eco Innovators Next Generation Sustainability through Science and Innovation, I had to Google and contact the national agencies to understand. And it's not simply available on the Erasmus Mundus Association website, not at the time I checked. My candidacy is anchored in 3 very clear goals. And you can also check it on my Instagram, which I specifically made for this candidacy in order for you to have transparency. And I hope, in case I'm selected, it's gonna stay there. Transparency, so every member can know, understand, and shape our collective future. Here we hear so many ideas, but we have no information on what's going on right now, all the time, everywhere, across every unit. Horizontal leadership, where every member is empowered to grow, to act, and to lead. I pledge publicly here today that I won't be traveling or getting any opportunities unless those that are strictly necessary to the president. And I will be opening calls for every single Brussels networking event, for every single event where Emma gets invited, to volunteers in members. Emma needs to be for everyone. It cannot be only for the few, only for the president and vice president, only for the management board. And engagement, where participation is open, free from burdens, and rooted in the belief that we are all equal, no matter president, no matter vice president, no matter management board. Dear colleagues, please vote. Vote for what you believe, but vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for so we can start the round 1 now, and we can start the round 1 with you, as you're already taking the floor. So please, you have 5 minutes to present your vision and plan. So you have already started presenting, but you can continue. It's going great. And followed by you, it will be Marvi who will do the same. Thank you.
Sorry, I had a connection problem. Can you repeat?
Yes. So I just announced the round 1. So according to the round 1, you have 5 minutes to present your vision and plan for your mandate. You will be followed by Marvi, who will also have 5 minutes in the same round, and then we'll start the round 2. So you can please continue.
So much. Thank you so much for taking the time and for repeating. Very much appreciated. My ambition. What is my ambition? Why am I here today, and why am I so passionate, speaking literally from the bottom of my heart? Transparency platform. We need to know what's happening, guys. We need to know where are our projects. We have all these big projects. We have received money, apparently. We have to see, we have to understand everything, but there is no transparency. There is not online dashboard where we have all the projects that Emma is doing. And at the same time, we also don't have projects that are in interest of our members. We send young people from Belgium to youth exchanges. Nice. Where is our membership here? What is our membership learning from that? We are working with young people 16 to 25 across Turkey, Guyana, Belgium, and other countries like France and Portugal. But what is our benefit of our members? Where are our members there? What are our members doing? So my first plan is a transparency platform. This is my vision, transparency. Everyone should know, because remember, more we are, more we know, more power we have also for better projects. Engagement strategy. I want everyone to be involved, to feel involved and to take the lead to be involved. You want to do a project, you're welcome. You want to do engagement, you're welcome. Not just to hear projects, to do them, to implement them, and then to communicate and make people learn from your projects. Alumni leadership growth, as I said before, I mentioned also in the comments, peer-to-peer network, improvement of competences, understand better, exchange, strengthen our external visibility, and don't keep everything, as they say in Brussels, in the couloir de Bruxelles. We don't want everything to be kept in one place. We don't want everything only in Brussels. We are a global organization. We work globally. We want our members to be part of our organization, to be action, to have an action. And we don't want to be, in my vision, an organization, in my personal vision. I don't want to be part of an organization which is just for the privileged ones, for those already living somewhere good and possessing the strong passports. I want an organization where I will go back in the time when I moved from my country and I will say, yes, we have had the opportunity to involve everyone here, and not the few who have closed the opportunities for themselves. And that's exactly why, as I said before, I pledged not to travel, not to attend unless the necessary events, to have transparency. I have created also the ENA for EMA Instagram page so you can follow my candidacy. I will, in case I get selected, have a transparent communication on every single project that EMA has applied, that EMA wants to do. And I won't dream too big without the support of the community. If the community supports, we can do many big projects, but individually we cannot do anything. The community needs to feel safe and comfortable to do projects. The community needs to feel part of EMA. We need to learn skills. We need to give the opportunities to our young volunteers or our young members to learn. And those projects, those opportunities that just few attend right now in EMA, the president, the vice president, the management boards, are also opportunities for people to attend and to improve their competencies. When I asked how many events has been attended in the last 2 years, I never received the answer. And this is the transparency I'm talking to you. When I asked what's happening with my data and who's reading my CV, I never received the answer. I mean, my CV is public, you can all read it on LinkedIn, that's not a problem. But I want an organization which is not just dreaming and saying what is going to happen, but is doing actions and is consulting the membership, is consulting everyone, is consulting people how you imagine your organization. EMA is not an organization of a few, and EMA is not an organization which is being led by a secretariat. EMA is an organization led by hearts and secretariat, not only by secretariat. If EMA in 90 years did not have a secretariat, there is a reason. I'm not saying the secretariat is not needed, but I'm saying there is a need of transparency, communication, and concrete actions on projects which are for our community and which are not creating job opportunities for the people who want to become paid on EMA payroll. Remember that, because projects create job opportunities. If we are not able to open the projects right now for members consultation, we are never going to be able to open then the job opportunities for member consultation. And the last but not least, competencies and knowledge. We need a lot of competences, a lot of knowledge to do stuff, to do big projects. We need to know all the actions around, but not only on a political level, on contacts and networks. We need to know the projects that are going on, and we need to create the projects in such a way that members can involve. How can EMA has an operational grant if the last year EMA budget was 12,000 euros or something similar? If I'm wrong, pardon me. And on the General Assembly, we did not have a great presentation of the financial transparency. Operational grants are given to the organizations who have operational capacity.
Thank you very
and
much.
Without
Ina,
going to
and,
polemics,
we're
I just
really
want to
sorry
invite you to
interrupt
vote.
you, but
To vote.
sorry.
Please vote, whatever you think, but show your vote. Thank you,
Thank you,
Ratujai.
Ina.
I'm just back.
Sorry to interrupt you, but your time is up, and we will give the second candidate opportunity to speak. So Marvi, please go ahead.
Thank you, Ruturaj. Could you please share my slides again? Thank you, Anna, for the wonderful presentation and sharing your vision. So, dear community members, my vision for Emma is to have a green, skill-based, and sustainable Emma, where members have their strengthened skill-based organization where every voice is heard. Next, please. So my vision for the next 2 years is going to be as follows. I ensure to launch the program to support prospective Erasmus Plus students by strengthening the country representatives to share their knowledge regarding Erasmus Plus programs in their own countries. That's how we will reach to the areas where they're represented. Then my next plan is that is being created. It's currently needs strengthening, and that can be done. And IT compliance, but the relevant laws compliance. Then my other goal is to strengthen the country representatives and their connections with EU delegation meetings, and by identifying the gaps in their training, organize trainings for them, identify the needs, and organize first round of trainings for program representatives so they could engage more collaboratively with EMJMS coordinators and Emma. Then initiate the corporate public engagement strategy, more internship and job placement opportunities. My sustainability plan and securing at least some of our Erasmus Mundus ecosystem. Introduce an online multimedia platform with tools, resources, and networking spaces for Emma members. We will see how could be done through the Emma. The legal administrative unit, LEA, assistance to Erasmus Plus students, because we don't have knowledge how to address them. So the legal subunit would be providing this kind of facilitation. Then begin discussion with policymakers on student visa and accommodation issues, aiming for structured law. Recently conducted, it's now high time to see with authorities or with Europe. Then
Did you miss Marvi already?
that being, hello, can you hear me now?
I
Can
think
you
last
hear me?
15 seconds was with
Am I
now it's okay.
okay? So I quickly sum up what Anna would said, and I would be discussing it next round as well. But residents, that why Belgian residents are going, Anna, you may not know, but Erasmus is a that in
Thank you so much, Marvi. Your time is almost up, and we are also not able to hear you very well. So I request Shinam to start the second round, which is the cross-question debate. If Shinam, please, if you can take over.
Thank you, Ruturaj. So we now move on to round two, which is the cross debate section. In this round, our two candidates will engage directly with each other's vision, challenge key points, and also seek clarification on plans. Now, I encourage both the candidates to maintain a respectful tone and focus on constructive dialogue. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to respond to the other candidate's statement, followed by a counter or a clarification within 2 minutes as well. So in total, we will have 8 minutes to complete this round. So now I will ask Marvi to ask the first question to Anna. So you can respond to any of the points that was made by Anna during her presentation of her vision. And then after that, Anna, you have 2 minutes to respond to counter and clarify anything that Marvi said. So Marvi, the floor is yours now. Marvi, are you there? Hello?
It seems Marvi is struggling with internet connection.
Hi, Marvi, can you hear us?
As Marvi is not available, Shita, maybe you can go ahead with Ina and come back to Marvi later.
Yeah, but then since it's a cross debate section, both of them needs to be here because if Anna asks her question, then Marvi needs to respond.
Okay, maybe Shinam, we can go for round three. Let's say by this time, actually, Marvi can connect back and we can also ask questions to Anna.
Okay, sure. Let's move on to round three, and then when Marvi is back, we'll go to round two. So should I go on and ask the questions to Anna then?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, Anna, can you hear me well? Anna, so the first question for you is, given the president's accountability to the Emma community and leadership of the management board, how will you foster effective collaboration among the board members, the advisory board, and the country representative? You have 2 minutes to answer this question.
Thank you so much. So as I was already writing in the chat on YouTube, in case I get selected, I will do a protocols and ways of working, which come from previous bigger organizations. And before we do the protocols and ways of working and selection criteria, we will put them on the consultation of the membership of EMMA, so they can feel like they're being represented. Because I mean, the management board and the president and vice president are just functions and they represent the entire membership. So once we put in place these protocols for working and this sheet of competencies that people need to have in order to have this position, then we're going to put also protocols for working and communicating and engagement between each other. And then we will also ensure that every management board member actually has a vision of why this position is important for them, but also why it's important for the organization, not to see it only from a personal perspective because they can benefit from networking, from opportunities, from travel and everything, but like how do they see it beneficial from the organization. And then we will ask them also to do together a statute, but not like a statute like a bylaw, but like a manifesto to approve it from the membership if this is what the members feel like, because once again, they represent the membership, and in this part we want really transparency. And in between, we will also talk to people and ensure that their commitment is the commitment that they can put, because also we have to remember EMMA is a volunteer organization and people need to have the commitment they have, not more than this, not less than that. So if people take commitment, then we can always ensure that they're on the same page. And at the same time, we will also organize team buildings, networkings, and events for the team members to start working online. together, and we will try to do that as much as possible remote, and to ensure that there are that there is no over opportunities for the management boards and the presidential and vice president, but at the same time also for protection of our environment and less emissions, of course, which many travels bring to. I hope this answers your question, and I think I'm in less than 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Anna. So now I have another question for you. So which key performance indicators will you establish to measure EMA's progress on its strategic goals? And how will you ensure transparent reporting to the community?
So can I start with the last? Transparent reporting to the community. As I mentioned before, we are gonna go transparently to Instagram, transparently to the website, in the website and to the community platform. In the community platform, we're gonna have a part where we say projects we plan to apply, projects we applied, projects we are going to apply if we continue this strategy. At the same time, we're gonna do parts of implementing projects, closed projects, projects that we want to implement, so people can know what's happening, what's going on. And then there's going to be a public part for the presidential agenda, like what am I doing, what am I supposed to do, what I got invited or not got invited, in case selected to Brussels for or not. Same for the vice president, absolutely, and we have to get on the on terms with that, because we need to be public. Same for the management board members. I'm often gets invited to speak on events. When that invitation comes, we have to see internally, and then we have to publish it as much as possible to the membership, because members needs to represent the association. EMA is not an 8 people, 10 people, 12 people, 20 people organization. It's an organization of thousands of people, and those people needs to be represented. Key indicators, we are going to see the units of the objectives of every unit, and we are going to make reliable and realistical indicators. I'm excusing myself in front of the memberships already now. Not everything is going to be done, but I will try my best that what we promise is done, and is done in a communicative and transparent way, that you know what is going on, not that it's something that's just on the back. Did I cover all your questions, or there is something else that I missed?
Yes, you covered it, and you covered it very well in the prescribed time. Thank you so much, and it was lovely listening to you. So now, since Marvi is back, I will move on to Marvi and ask her similarly 2 questions. And after this, we will move on to cross debate. So Marvi, your first question is, given that the president sets EMA's short-term and long-term goals in consultation with the management and the advisory boards, what is your strategic vision to guide EMA over the next 2 years?
Thank you, Shinam, for the question, and I apologize everyone for the bad internet connection. As I mentioned, my short-term goals would be firstly to identify what the problems are. For instance, for the first 90 days, it's crucial for because the current MB would be outgoing and the new MB would be joining in. So it would be really imperative to have a complete and concrete plan on how to do the knowledge management, and then finding the problems of country representatives and program representatives, particularly by establishing strong communication channels to understand what the issues are or where the gaps lie or exist, and then devising the plan along with the management board for that. My strategy would be to work in a team that I have always been an advocate of in any leadership position. So my first objective would be to work with the management board members and devise a clear communication and open plan for the next 2 years, and then devise the OKRs and then achieving them. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, perfectly. Thank you. And your next question is, as EMA's primary representative endowed with the power to act on behalf of the association, how will you enhance EMA's engagement with EU institutions, national agencies, and academic partners to advance our mission?
Thank you for the question, Shinam. So as I mentioned, I have been in close contact with European Commission, ENFP, and EU delegations recently, through not only through the context of EMA, but because of my legal and policy background. So my idea would be, because I not only with institutions and EUDs, but also with the private sector organizations as well. I have had these connections, but I believe in having the involvement of the team together. And there, for instance, my first idea or my first objective would be to strengthen the program representatives, because program representatives are the bridge between students, the program coordinators, and others. And then when we talk about establishing connections with EUDs, there the main goal lies to strengthening the country representatives and having a close contact with them, and through them, so it would not be just one person doing that, but the whole team would be doing that through country representatives, through program representatives, and wherever it's needed, then the management board and the president as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Marvi, for such articulate responses. And now we will move on to our round two, which is the cross debate segment. So in this round, our two candidates now will engage directly with each other's vision. So one by one, you will respond to whatever plan the other candidate gave in round one. You will have 1.5 minutes to respond to their statement. After that, the next candidate will have 1.5 minutes to clarify any of the points raised by the previous candidate. So now we will begin with you, Marvi. You may respond to any of the points that were made by Anna during her presentation of the vision and plan for the next 2 years. And you have 1.5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Sheenam. I think Anna mentioned several points which made me wonder or made me realize that she doesn't know many things about how the organization or how the project works. So I don't know, because of my internet connection, I don't know if it was clear or not and how much you heard. Since Emma is registered in Belgium, that's why. So what's the process of project application? Once we apply for the projects with the national agency in Belgium and these projects are approved, then we implement those projects. And Anna's question was that why not this opportunity is given to Portugal or other residents. So the projects are applied in a consortium of 4 or 5 members, and this is the consortium of 4 or 5 different NGOs, depending on which project are we talking about. And then, so once the project is approved, at the implementation phase, we open the call for participants. The participants apply, and there, because we represent Belgium as a Belgian organization, we have to give the opportunity to empower and to enhance the skills of the youth in Belgium. And that's how, why we open the call Belgian participants. So maybe this was not clear for her. And then she mentioned that there is not much information available about the project. So we apply for several projects, as I mentioned, like for instance, 12 projects that we applied for. Raquel, your screen is unmute.
Marvi, your time
So
is also
for the last,
up.
Okay, yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. So now, Anna, would you like to clarify or respond to this statement from Marvi?
Yes, please. Thank you so much, Marvin, and thank you so much for taking the time. But I would like to kindly ask you to not use condescending tone and not make assumptions that I don't know things and how do I do things, because I never have had and never have said to anyone that they don't know specifically naming people how they do their job. So I find that a little bit not correct, and I hope this disclaimer is not going to count in my minute and a half. Because this is necessary in order to respect each other and really make a tone where everyone's voice and emotions are recognized and respected. Second thing, to answer your questions, unfortunately, Anna knows a lot about European projects. What Anna doesn't know is why Erasmus Mundus Association is taking the perspective and deciding to spend energy and time to projects that are not benefiting the members. I very much know that we are based in Brussels, registered legally in Brussels, thus in Belgium, so we have to apply to the national agency. But why are we investing the resources which we don't have, which we already discussed that we don't have enough physical resources, human resources to work, to provide opportunities through youth exchanges for people who are not even part of our membership? So this is something I don't understand, because every project requires energy and force and time. And what is our benefit as an organization from that? And also, the second part, I very much know how consortium work, and I very much also know that there are projects which can actually benefit organizations who have international presence. So not only the residents in the countries. So this is where my my part comes from, and my doubts come from of like why we do projects which are not benefiting our members, but we do our projects that are benefiting other people. And then we're asking for structured secretariat and payment by our people, or like to have positions which, I'm sorry, maybe not payment is the right word, but like to have opportunities from our membership for projects that are not on their benefit. So basically our staff, management boards are using time for other people's projects, not for our membership's projects. So I'm confused.
I'm sorry to intervene.
Thank you so much, sorry.
Emma, but yeah, it's okay. So now, now you have time to respond to Marvi's plan of action that she presented in round 1. So you have 1.5 minutes to have any of the statements that you have regarding her plan.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you also so much, Marvi, for presenting your plan and also for all the hard work that you did in the last period. As someone who have worked in 2 organizations who have accreditations, so Erasmus Plus accreditations for youth exchanges and training courses, and someone who have managed many K2 projects, strategical, and created them and implementing them in the ground in different countries, I have a few questions, or maybe one that summarizes all these few questions, which is, what is the benefit of the members? When we join a project, when we spend resources, when we spend time, when we spend efforts that we can spend on another way to join a project which is not even in the target age of our people, because it's 16 to 25, what is the benefit of our members and what is the transparency behind? Like, how can our members know for this project? Me, to find about the project, and I said before, to be clear for the members, someone who has experience with projects, so there should be easy way to find out the project. I had to go to the results of the national agency to find out about the project that Emma is doing, where Emma is part with 6 organizations of a 250K project. So normally Emma will receive not more than 30,000 euros, or approximately, or 40, for not their members, because it's not in the target group. So I want to know, what is the behind of all this? Like, what is the benefit for our members?
Thank you for your question, Anna. So first of all, age group for all the projects is not 16 to 25. The age group varies, and mostly it's 16 to 30. Whichever projects Emma has been involved in, it's mainly 16 to 30. This is one point. The second point is, why do we apply for these projects and why we invest resources? To achieve financial sustainability. That's one of the main core reasons that we would like to achieve by investing our resources in these projects. If we don't apply for these projects, then we don't receive the grants, and then we don't have a concrete plan on what to do or with the financials. Then thirdly, we not only work, so we work for the entire community, and we try to, by applying for these projects, we try to empower that youth. I don't know how this idea has come, that the youth only is the one that is, as I mentioned before, it's not Belgian nationals. The idea is Belgian residents. So whoever participants who are attending these projects, some of them are Emma members, and some of them are simply Belgian residents who or Belgian nationals who become Emma's affiliated members. And then these are the youth-based projects for the youth. So Emma is not only believing in doing like in working on formal education, but also investing its resources in non-formal education. Recently, we had one project about entrepreneurship. So what the idea behind was that we would like to enhance the capacity and the skills of our members by sowing these seeds that not only the jobs, but also entrepreneurship path is also one way where they can look into and they can gain more opportunities. Thank you, Sheena, for reminding time.
It's okay. Thank you again to Anna and Marvi for such a thoughtful and energetic discussion. It's really encouraging to see such commitment to the future of Erasmus Mundus Association. I know that both of you have very strong passion towards Emma. So I hope we continue this momentum as we move into the next segment. So over to you now, Ruturaj.
Thank you very much, Ina. Thank you very much, Marvi. Thank you very much, Shinam and Ashiku, for your time and for your session. It was an amazing session where the Emma community got an insight into your ideas and how you would like to see Emma in the future. I now request Ashikur to go ahead with the last session for today. So we are around 5 to 6 minutes over time, but I hope we can spend 6 minutes from our Sunday for our association. So in this cross-question session, each of the candidates will have an opportunity to ask one question to any of the 4 candidates present. And I request Ashikur to take over. But before Ashikur will take over, I have an announcement or a request for our Emma community. We have too many questions on the YouTube channel. And I request all of our candidates to go there and to reply to them whenever you can. But this is not the end, because we are still in the campaigning period until the 11th of May, and you can still go on the community portal or the social media channels of the candidates, and you can ask questions if you have any to these candidates. So over to you, Ashikur.
Thank you so much, Rotoraj, and thanks to all 4 amazing candidates. This is the spirit of Emma. This is the spirit of democracy. This is the spirit of, let's say, we talk about several things, transparency, trust, and everything. Really happy to see the way you are putting your insights for everything. So now we have the cross questions and closing statements. This is the final part of the today's debate. As Rotoraj mentioned, each of the 4 candidates, you will have one opportunity to ask one question to one individual. So you cannot ask 2 questions to 2 person, but one question to one individual. Think to whom you are thinking to ask the questions. It could be clarifications, it could be something to know their vision. It's up to you. So our vice presidential candidates, they are waiting for quite some time, around 45 minutes. Maybe I can actually give the floor to Raquel to ask the first question to one of the other 3 candidates. It doesn't matter if it shouldn't be like president or vice president candidate, any candidate. Raquel, the floor is for you.
Thank you, Ashikur. Thank you, Ashikur. Thank you, everyone, for the engagement on YouTube. Yes, I'm sure we will be able to, and in all our channels, we will be able to enjoy post debate as well. So my question goes for Marvi. So Marvi, you will be part of the selection team to select the upcoming board. Yeah. And we were talking about inclusion and diversity, and that we have members from about 170 countries. So what specific strategic and concrete steps will you be implementing, or you would like to implement during the selection process to ensure that the next leadership team truly reflects the broad geographical diversity of our membership, their expertise, and also to actively seek representation from all regions and from people from different backgrounds, and from, as a judge that worked with gender issues, that we're also including people from different gender identifying that identify with, binary, non-binary, LGBTQ, and also people with disabilities as well. So how would you ensure more diversity in our management board? Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful question, Raquel. So you are familiar that when we open the call for any selections or for the board members, that call is open. So anyone who is willing, they can apply for the position. And like this is a current, if you look at the current board, we have a true representation from all genders, also from the minorities, and including LGBT. And besides that, we have also the representation, geographical representation from all the regions, including, I think, except Antarctica, we have all the MB representing from all the regions. What I will do, my mandate would be to, when we are announcing the call, to make sure that MB make it like spread the information, or we do some video promotion as well across Emma's social media channels, so everyone gets to know what the actual role is while working in Emma, and how what they could do basically to when they come to engage. But I am against putting the strict geographical location criterias, because Emma is a volunteering position. So let's say tomorrow, if we don't receive any applications for one position from any region, then it would be very difficult to put to follow those guidelines. So I would like to keep the mandate open and would be open and merit based, but my idea would be to spread more information so everybody knows, and we receive applications from all around the world, and then
15
we get
seconds.
to select the board.
Okay, I think you have finished. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Marvi. So now we can move to our another vice president candidate, Shaheen. If you have any questions to any of the three other candidates, Shaheen, the floor is for you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Actually, rather than asking the candidates to ask a question, I want to take the opportunity because we are receiving so many questions through YouTube from our members, like volunteers, or probably our well wishers, that they want to actually have some clarification and some answer for us, and it will be actually injustice if we don't take this opportunity to actually give them some answers to actually satisfy their
You have 1
part.
minute.
So
If
it's
you would like
possible.
to go for this answer, go for 1 minute maximum, because we cannot take more than 1 minute.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, I think there has been some questions about the transparency. So I would actually request everyone to go for what the word cloud that was looming around in my presentation. It was the bold one about the transparency, and that's why we are talking about this. EMA Secretariat, because we all are volunteers here, and legally we are also bound in so many limitations that we can't, even if we want to, we can't actually do so many things for you regarding the transparency and the stuff. And also all the questions that you are asking, we can't give you the answers, or we don't have the resources, or we have limited support systems, that we can't do this. That's why it is so important for us to have a secretariat where all your questions will be answered properly, and that's what we want to establish here. And yeah, that's for the transparency. And I think there is also an like question and understanding about the
10
EMA
seconds.
membership. Yeah, 10 seconds. Yes, please check out as our EMA membership. Who are our EMA members? We always work for our prospective members as well. So the prospective students and the prospective participants who will learn and know about Erasmus Mundus and the greater Erasmus Plus.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so much,
thank you
Shaheen.
so much.
So now we are moving to Anna. If you'd like to ask questions, or maybe you'd like to clarify something. Anna. You're muted, Anna. Sorry.
This comes with the age. I'm sorry. I was saying that I will take the minute. It's a minute and 30.
1 minute and 30. If you would like to ask a question, so you can ask the questions, and the person has to respond in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Or
No,
if
no,
you'd
I
like
will
to
just
take
take.
you would like
I'll
to
take
take
the time.
Okay, go for 90 seconds.
Because I've been interacting with people in the chat, and I also have some things that I would like to comment from the previous things. Unfortunately, there is one legal thing which is called, if we use European Union project money outside of the purposes of the project, the president is going directly to jail. So whenever whoever said before that they want to use the European Union project money to make treasury or whatever, not possible. If you don't use it for the project, it's not possible to make treasury for anything else. So this is something to really keep in mind, and to keep in mind that there are rules for that. So it's not possible. If we have a project for young people, 16 years old, we send them on a youth exchange, Belgian residents, Belgian citizens, amazing, but we cannot keep the money for something else. That's not legal. And that's something I'm sure. And you can read it in the Erasmus Plus program guide, and you can also read it in the European Union financial regulations and everything else. So this is first thing. Second thing, I see in the chat that many people ask to vote by proxy. So please email elections at, I put the email there, elections at ema.eu, I think it is, and see if this is possible. However, if it's not possible for this year, and I know that is super, super, super discouraging, I'll be, one of my main ideas of the transparency and goals of the transparency is that we take the statutes, the bylaws, we make them publicly available, not only in French and in English, but we try to make them in as many languages as possible available, and we make them inclusive of all our membership. So not only people who go on the General Assembly because they have been privileged enough can vote, but everyone can vote. And this is something that I promise you, if I don't succeed, I will let you know why I did not succeed, but I will try and do it. Like, I will try and do it on a possible way, because I also have experience creating associations, enterprises under European Union law and different countries' law. So we have definitely to figure out that, because this is a huge discrimination burden. And back to geography and balance, I'm not sure that we have had geographical balance in our management boards and in the previous years, not only in this one, but in the previous years as well. As I was mentioning before, there are going to be protocols of work and criteria which are really strong and solid, and we're going to learn from the organizations who are already established and who have these experiences, and we are going to propose to our members and offer quality, and everything is going to be transparent through the portal. Thank you so much. And please, if you have questions, email me, send social media, everything I'm there to answer, and I'm also there to help if someone has transparency questions or anything with what I can offer as my competence, which is not a lot, but not a little as well.
Thank you so much, Anna. So the final one from Arvi, if you would like to ask a questions or anything like clarification.
Thank you. I'll just take 30 seconds. Yeah, I take 30 seconds to clarify and then ask a question to one of the candidates. So about giving opportunities other than the Belgium citizens, as I explained before, these opportunities are given to Belgian residents, and they are EMJM students and alumni as well who have been living in Belgium. So this was one clarification. And my question would be to Raquel. Raquel, you mentioned that in fact, under Article 20.2 of MI statutes, Vice President has the responsibility to supervise the administrative units, and director of these units shall report to the Vice President and consult with them on the functioning of these units. Currently, LIA, PSU, TMU, PDU, and PQA would be reporting to the Vice President. What would be your 2 years goal for administration of these units? Because as I saw, most of your goals would be concerning to TMU. So what plans do you have for other 4 units? Thank you.
Hi, Mari. Thank you for the question. Well, it's, I would say that no, the plans, so what I propose, it's not concerning just TMU, it's concerning overall, because in general terms, different units might be involved in the ideas that I've proposed. But in terms directly addressing your question, what are the goals, how we're going to work together? So all of these units have specific roles that people can go and have a look in the description of each unit. And there are areas where they meet and there are areas where they could meet. So my goal and my plan is to work in collaboration with the president as well, and in collaboration with the management board at large and with these specific units to see where these spaces meet and where is the space for cross collaboration. So TMU can work with PSU in terms of projects that can be launched that will help the professional and community development of members. Will work with LIA and with PQA to ensure that whatever we present, it's done within the framework of best practices and the policies that we have in EMA. So I think that at the bottom of this is communication, intra-communication within these units to see what can be done so that the work of the other supports, so that our work supports one another. So thank you very much for the question.
Thank you so much, Raquel, and thanks to all those who are the candidate. Let's say you are EMA member, you are family member of EMA, and those who are watching us YouTube, Facebook, and also our community portal. I would like to make sure that please keep asking your questions, whatever you have, because this is the campaign period is happening. All the candidates, I hope they're available to respond to you. You can reach out through their social media channel or any other commission channel that you are feeling comfortable with. So please reach out to them personally also, because maybe you are not coming to the GA, maybe you are not able to vote due to your membership criteria, but make sure your voice hears, and the candidates are also well prepared about your questions, about your insights. So through this, we are about to close. I would like to thank you to all candidates for your professionalism, passion, and clear commitment to Erasmus Mundus Association's future. That is our future. I would also like to thank our wonderful facilitator, Vice President Mr. Ruturaj Trivedi, our co-electoral committee member, Dr. Shinam Jain, and all the electoral committee members and volunteers behind the scene, the technical team, the social media volunteers from CIT, and of course, CIT means Commission and IT team, IT unit of EMA, and of course, our global audience for making today's debate a success. I'm sorry for taking 8 minutes extra. Okay, this is the flow of EMA, this is the spirit of EMA. Let's say this is the debate between leaders, and leaders, sometimes they might go beyond the time, but it is also necessary for us to hear their clear vision and their policy statements. So no matter the outcome, it is clear that the future of EMA remains in excellent hands. Wishing all candidates the very best for the election. This concludes the EMA Presidential and Vice Presidential Debate 2025. I would like to welcome you all Those who are coming in person in the General Assembly and those who are not, please watch us through live streaming. That will be also taking place 15, 16, and 17 May. The live streaming will be for the annual conference and also both of the General Assembly days. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.